Morning. Barry is my model today. Well, we'll go ahead and just start seated. Do you want to face the camera and turn? So Barry's sitting on a block. It's just good to find a place to sit where your knees can be the same height as your hips, or even a little bit lower. So I like to sit on a folded blanket or beach towel. Barry's got a block underneath. And just see if you can get your spine tall and close your eyes. And just notice your breathing. You don't need to do anything to change it. But now see if you can lengthen your inhale to a count of 1, 2, 3, 4, and exhale 2, 3, 4. Inhale 2, 3, 4, and exhale 2, 3, 4. Try to keep that same pace and really feel what it's like to be in your body with that smooth and long breath. And feel the whole length and weight of your legs and see if you can root down into the floor, and then from there get your spine really tall. Your ears are stacked right over your shoulders and your shoulders are over your hips. And just think about this day that you have ahead of you. Think about this practice and what it is that you need to create inside of yourself with this practice. And see if you can find just one word. Maybe something like space or peace, energy. And just connect that word to your next inhale and your exhale. Just take 2 more breaths with that word as your mantra. And then just gently open your eyes. Excuse me, I've got a frog in my throat. And inhale, just reach your arms high. Exhale, bring your hands behind your back. Just interlace your fingers behind your back and then open your heart here. And then take your fisted hands and just bring them over to your right hip. So, oh yeah, well, I'm mirroring you. We'll do my right hip. You can just do your own. And draw that right elbow in. And then drop your left ear to your left shoulder. And then lift your head and drop your right ear to your right shoulder. And then lift your head. Release your arms and just take a twist to your right. Bring your left hand outside of your right knee. Lengthen your spine. Look over your back shoulder and then over your front shoulder. And do that a couple of times. Just get into your neck. Back shoulder, front shoulder. And then look straight out over that right knee. Drop your left ear to your left shoulder. And then gently dial your chin toward your shoulder. Lift your chin, lift your head, unwind yourself. And find a little bit of a forward fold here over your crossed legs. And then walk your hands back in. Just switch the cross of your legs. So bring your other shin in front, wherever you're at. And good morning. Lengthen your spine. And this time, interlace your hands in front of you. Push your palms away. And inhale, reach your arms high. Try to keep your shoulders out of your ears and maybe knit your lower ribs together even as you reach up. Push your pinkies toward the wall behind you. And then release that and interlace your hands behind your back. See if you can do it the awkward way with the awkward thumb on top. Draw your shoulder blades together, open your chest here. And then bring your fisted hands to your left hip. And then draw that left elbow in, lengthen your spine. And first drop your right ear to your right shoulder. So you keep drawing that left elbow in toward the midline. And then lift your head and drop your left ear to your left shoulder. And then lift your head, unwind your arms, and just find a twist. You'll bring your right hand outside your left knee, lengthen your spine, look over your left shoulder, and then look over your right shoulder. And look over your left shoulder, and look over your right shoulder. Look over your left shoulder. And then just look straight out past that left knee, and then drop your right ear to your right shoulder. So you're going to drop your ear toward your front shoulder. And then gently dial your chin toward your shoulder. And then lift your chin, lift your head, unwind, and find that little forward fold here. And with your other shin in front, you might feel a little bit different. And take another round of breath. And then rock forward onto your hands and knees and make your way into a table. You can move your block out of the way. And Barry, will you face over that to the other side? Yeah. I'm going to grab my phone so I know what time it is. And hi, April. So fun. Okay. Find your knees under your hips, wrists under your shoulders. And inhale, look up and find a cow. And exhale, round your spine, tuck your chin, lift your heart up toward the ceiling. And just keep going through that with your breath. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. And take a breath in. And then with your exhale this time, round your spine. And then push your hips back to your heels for a child's pose. And then inhale back up to your cow. So just making your movement a little bit bigger. Exhale, round your spine, and then push back into child's pose. And then inhale back onto hands and knees and really drop your belly, lift your sitting bone. And then exhale. Inhale. Just do one more round like that. Exhale. Inhale. And then find a neutral spine. Inhale and lift your right leg up and back behind you. And lift your left arm straight forward. Find your balance. You can spread those right fingers. See if you can find a neutral spine. So really knit your lower ribs together. Yeah. Take one more breath there. And exhale, lower down. And then switch sides. Just lift that left leg up behind you. Right leg forward. Knit your lower ribs together. Feel really strong there. One more breath in. Exhale, lower. And then we'll just go side to side. Inhale, right leg, left arm. Exhale and lower. Inhale, left leg, right arm. Exhale and lower. Right leg, left arm. Exhale, lower. Right leg, left leg, right arm. And go ahead from here, find a plank pose. So tuck your toes, wrist right under your shoulders, and through this movement, try to keep your shoulder weight over your wrists. Just lift your right toes to hover up off the floor. And then as you exhale, bring your right knee into your chest. Inhale, lengthen your right leg back out and bring your left knee to the floor. Exhale, right knee to your chest and lift your left knee up. Inhale, right leg back, left knee to the floor. Exhale, right knee into your chest, lift. Do that one more time. Inhale. Exhale. And then come back to your plank. Do the same thing on the other side. Hover those left toes up off the floor. And then exhale, bring your left knee into your chest. Keep your knee lifted, your right knee lifted. Inhale, lengthen your left leg back and drop your right knee to the floor. Exhale, left knee to your chest and lift that right knee. Inhale, lengthen back with your knee to the floor. And do 2 more of those. Drop. Bring your knee into your chest and lengthen back. Knee to chest, lengthen back. And then come into your plank. And we'll open up into a side plank. So bring your right knee to the floor. Pivot your right toes toward the window wall a little bit. Rotate your left inner foot to the floor. Yep, and have it kind of in line with your knee. Yeah. And then reach your left arm up toward the ceiling and open up here. Big breath in. And then lift that left leg up off the floor. If you want to get really fancy, you can bend your left knee and reach for that left ankle. You don't have to. Take one more breath there. And then lower down, and we'll just switch sides. So drop your right knee to the floor. You'll lengthen that left leg back. And pivot on your left knee. Oh, sorry, right leg. I'm dyslexic. And then reach your right arm up toward the ceiling. Just a modified side plank. Really externally rotate. So this grounded arm, you're going to engage that upper arm bone. Really spread your fingers on the floor so they're a big foundation. Kind of push down into the webbing of that index finger and thumb, and then lift your right leg up off the floor. Get into that QL and the whole side of your waist. One more breath there, and then come back down. Find your plank, and we'll do side plank again on each side, and you have options. You can do it with your knee down, or you can stack your feet. So you can rock over onto the pinky toe edge of both feet. Keep your legs straight. Yeah, and then reach your left arm up. And then externally rotate that grounded arm. Nice. And then maybe lift that top leg. Awesome. Good job. And then lower down, come back into your plank. Spread your fingers wide. Okay, one more time, side plank on the other side. So you're really externally rotating that grounded arm so your shoulder is really stable. Lift your hips so you're engaging your obliques on that lower side. And then maybe hover that right leg. Lower down. Bring your knees to the floor. Push back into child's pose. Enjoy your breath there. One more big round of breath. Spread your fingers, tuck your toes, and push your hips up and back for downward facing dog. And then get out your wiggles there. You can bend one knee and then the other. Just kind of start to stretch through your hamstrings and your calves. And then find a breath where you're just still and long. And then inhale and take a walk up to the top of your mat. Find a halfway lift, hands on your shins. Halfway, oh, gotta tuck your shirt in. Flat spine, look forward. Yeah, and then exhale, fold again. Inhale all the way up to standing. Reach high. Exhale your hands to your heart. We'll do a few salutations. Inhale, reach high. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, hands to shins, halfway lift, look forward. Exhale, fold. Inhale your left foot back into a lunge. Exhale your left knee down. Inhale, reach your arms high. Exhale, hands to the floor. Inhale to a plank. Knees up or down. Exhale, lower to your belly. Feel like you're pulling your hands back as you inhale. Lift your head and chest for cobra. Draw your shoulders. Nice. Exhale. Tuck your toes. Hips up and back. Downward facing dog. Big breath in here. And a breath out. So lengthen through your spine. Feel like you can be super long from your pinky fingernails out through your outer hips. Inhale high onto your tippy toes, look forward. Exhale, bend your knees, step or hop to the top of your mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale all the way to standing, reach high. Exhale your hands to your heart. Inhale, reach high. Exhale, fold forward over your legs. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, right foot back into your lunge. Exhale your right knee down. Inhale, reach high. Exhale, hands to the floor. Inhale to your plank. Exhale, you can have your knees up or down, lower down to your belly. Inhale, keep your elbows in toward your side. Lift your chest, nice. Exhale, tuck your toes. Make your way to downward facing dog. Big breath in and a breath out. Find a little bend in your knees and then push into your hands, lengthen up through your hip creases. Nice. And then you can bring your legs towards straight by pushing your inner thighs back. Inhale high onto your tippy toes, look forward. Exhale, bend your knees, step or float to the top of your mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale all the way to standing, reach high. Exhale, hands to your heart. And then just take a really big stance, really big step back with your left foot and face the long edge of your mat. Bring your hands together behind you or hands on your hips and draw your elbows together. Let the outer edges of your feet be parallel with the short edges of your mat. Lengthen your spine and then fold halfway forward. Just come to a long spine. Just feel that in your hamstrings. And one more round of breath there. And then you can exhale and fold all the way if you want to bring your hands to the floor or a block. Just take 2 more breaths there. And then inhale yourself back up. Bring your hands to your hips and then come all the way up. Turn your right toes to the right and angle your left toes in just a little bit. Set up for your warrior 2. So bend your right knee and then open your arms out. Nice. And really set this up intelligently. So your right heel draws a line to your left arch. And if you look down at your right big toe, you can see it. So you're really honoring the alignment of your knee there. If you start letting your knee go in toward that big toe edge of your foot, you're going to be putting a lot of undue pressure on your knee. Take one more breath here, just in your warrior two. Let your shoulders be out of your ears. And then exhale into a side angle pose. You bring your right forearm to your right thigh, and then lengthen your left arm alongside your ear. Your palm faces down. One long line from your left heel out through your fingertips. And rotate those right ribs up. That looks great. Enjoy your one more breath there. Okay, keep your left side of your body as it is. Just float your right arm and point toward the wall next to you. You're just using some core strength to hold you in your side angle pose here. And take one more breath. And then bring your left hand to your left hip. We'll slide into a half moon boat. You'll just hover and you don't have to lift very high. So you're here in your side angle pose, and then just slide that left leg in and let it hover up off the floor. You don't even have to straighten your right leg. Just hold strong. One more breath, and then float back into your warrior two. Step back, open up into warrior two. Straighten that right leg, and then exhale into a triangle pose. You can bring your right hand to your right shin or block. Can you straighten that right leg? Yeah, you could even be up higher. So just have your hand on your shin, not on your knee. Yeah, and then really engage here. Take one more breath there. Really open through your chest, and then hover your right arm up off your leg and just point it toward the side wall parallel with the floor like you did before. Yeah. Awesome. And then inhale yourself all the way up. Parallel your feet. Face the long edge of your mat. Straighten both legs. Bring your hands to your hips. Find another forward fold just for 2 breaths. And then turn your toes in just a little bit. That'll really give you a little bit more space if you feel like, so the outer edges of your feet are parallel with the short edges of your mat. Gives you a little more space in your hips. Okay, one last breath. Exhale your hands to your hips. Inhale yourself up. And then find that warrior two to the other side. Just turn those left toes to the left. You can bend into your left knee. Open your arms out. And the same alignment here. So your left heel draws a line to your right arch. Your wrists are just floating over your ankles. Shoulders are out of your ears. And just one more round of breath here, and just holding your warrior two. And then exhale into side angle pose. Left forearm on left thigh. Yeah, you're fine. Right arm alongside your ear. And use some leverage. You can use a little bit of leverage in that left forearm on your left thigh. Kind of spin your torso open and keep opening that left knee toward the pinky toe edge of your foot. So you kind of resist your arm into your leg. And engage through that left glute. Open through the front of your right hip. And then you're going to float your left arm up off your leg and just reach it out to the side. Super strong. And just keep that grounding into your right heel. One more breath there. And then bring your right hand to your hip, right hip. And then we'll float into that hovering half moon. So you can slide your right leg in and then lift your right leg up any amount. Like you could stay here. It's going to take a lot of work no matter where you're at. Okay, and then you can straighten that standing leg as much as feels friendly. Take one more breath. Then you'll float back into your warrior two. Straighten that left leg. Then draw your left outer hip back as you come down into your triangle. Actually, just use your shin like you did on the first side. So hand right here on your shin. And just open up. And we're working on having our hips open to the side. Big long stretch. Does that feel okay? And then hover your left arm off that left leg, just out to the side. And keep twisting your chest open. So you're strengthening and lengthening at the same time. Can you feel the strengthening? And then inhale yourself all the way upright, parallel your feet. Bring your hands to your hips. Draw your, turn your toes in a little bit more even. And then exhale and fold. And take one big breath in. Exhale there. Exhale your hands to your hips. And then inhale all the way up to standing. And then you can just toe heel your feet closer together and come to stand at the top of your mat. We'll just make our ways all the way onto your back. And if you have a strap handy or a hand towel or a belt or a tie or something, you can go ahead and use that. Bend both knees and bring them flat to the floor. Inhale and just lengthen your right leg up toward the ceiling. And we'll just use a strap to make your, and then lengthen that right leg. Just hold on to your straps. Just get a nice big stretch through the back of your right leg. Just bring your knee as straight as it'll go. And then really feel the back of your pelvis on the floor, but then feel a natural lift under your lower back. So your lowest vertebrae aren't touching the floor because you just got that lumbar curve, but then let all your ribs be on the floor, your back ribs. If you can keep that and lengthen your left leg on the floor, you can do that. If you feel that really push your lower back into the floor, then just keep that left leg bent. And then take both straps into your right hand. Gently turn your right toes just slightly to the right, and then open your right leg out to the right. Now, if you really feel this come into your inner knee, then bend your knee a little bit. And you can even use your left hand on your left hip to remind that left hip to stay down. Just a nice inner thigh stretch. And come back up to center. You can switch the strap into your other hand, and you can have your knee bent or your leg straight and just come into a twist. You'll drop that right foot over to your left. You can look to your right. And then come back up to center. Bend your left knee and bring your left foot to the floor. Release your strap and just cross your right ankle over your right knee for a figure 4 stretch. You can stay here, or you can reach through that little triangle that you've created and grab onto the back of your left thigh. This is a big stretch for Barry cycling legs. And just breathe into your hip. And then we'll go ahead and release that and switch sides. So just bring your left knee into your chest and loop your strap around your left foot. And really pay attention to the natural curves of your spine. We don't want to overstretch the space between your lumbar vertebrae. So you want to keep that natural curve under your lower back. So your whole pelvis is on the floor and your rib cage is on the floor, but then there's a natural curve under your lower back. And just lengthen through that left leg. And if when you straighten your right leg on the floor, if you feel that really like kind of tuck your tailbone up off the floor and push your lower vertebrae onto the floor, then you just keep that right knee bent. And take one more breath here. And then bring both straps into your left hand. Turn those left toes slightly to the left, and then you can drop that left leg out to the left. You can keep your right hand on your hip just to remind it. So we're not rocking over, we're just opening your leg. All the movement's coming from your hip joint. And then inhale yourself up. I hear birds singing outside like it's spring, which is a little bit crazy in February. We've had so much cold. Just enjoy your twist here. And then come back up to center. Bend your right knee and cross your left ankle over your right knee for that figure 4 on the other side. And just stay active. I'm just going to give you a little bit of resistance here. And you can grab the back of your right thigh and bring that right thigh into your chest if that feels good for your left hip. And then go ahead and uncross, hug your knees into your chest. And rock from side to side. Find a happy baby pose. Resist your feet into your hands into your feet. And then go ahead and release everything to the floor. Just find a rest. Let your palms face up. Get all your wiggles out. And rock your head from side to side. Wiggle your shoulders. Maybe windshield wiper your feet in and out. And then just let your breath breathe itself. And feel free to stay here as long as you want. And stay for long enough that your breath feels really easy, like it just breathes itself. It doesn't take any effort. And revisit that word that you found at the very beginning of practice. And just let yourself feel what that word feels like in your body. And the divine light in me honors the divine light in you. Thank you, friends, for practicing with me. Namaste. Good job, Barry. Hi, April.